Dragonix.
Hey guys, Surya from Dragonix Gamers here for the beginning of our beta bossing series in Runescape. So for our first boss, we're going to Kree'Arra in the God Wars dungeon. Should be interesting after the beta. Before the beta, with my levels, I could not do anything really. I could get a little bit of HP out of it, but I die really quickly. So post beta, it seems fairly well. It's still hard, but a lot easier than before. So my stats are boosted and I'm ready to go in. Something that really affected my DPS in this was the fact that I forgot to, well, not forgot, but I brought the wrong bolts, and the rune crossbows I was using could not use dragon bolts, which is new, I think. I knew they could use diamond bolts, but they can't even use that anymore apparently. So I'm ready to go in. I got my kill count. Just switch my equips and head into the boss chamber. So Arma's minions was hitting really high. Were hitting really high. They all hit frequently too, so as a whole, I was getting piled on. But compared to like the legit game, I was doing pretty good. Cause in the live game, I'd be dropped in like 10 seconds flat because of the constant damage, and they're like constant like 300s added up. And Arma's mage attacks would do like 250 alone on top of that. A disadvantage about the beta is that protect from range does not completely protect you from range. So, well, Arma's range attacks, which had a max hit of 690 in the live game, has partial piercing through, which can be really dangerous, even though it's heavily reduced. So I was just going with my basic abilities, trying to get to the threshold where I could actually deal some decent DPS. But because I had to constantly heal, it was pretty tough. Once I did manage to get there, I got some good hits on Arma, but even then, it wasn't massive. I tried to get to my ultimate, but it was really hard. I think I managed to pull off one ultimate this fight, but it didn't make much of a difference. I used rock tails to heal, even though monkfish healed 20. I just like the fact that I can use such expensive food. Makes me feel good. So, as you can see here, the triple or rapid fire ability tends to hit really high, and it always does unless you're against someone who's using melee, because now the combat triangle's been reworked so that, well, if you don't have something that's effective or the same, you're going to deal really low damage. Against Kree'Arra, it has no real weakness, so I guess anything will work except melee, because you can't hit it with melee. And since it uses range with its main attack, I'd assume it'd have really high magic defense, or that's what everybody assumes. So, the only real DPS I could get was rapid fire, and then eventually I got dropped. I just tried to save the items that were really hard to get in the beta. Well, the only real item that was hard to get here was the pendant, the climbing boots, and the grapple, but two of them were automatically kept anyways. So I just kept whatever I felt like keeping, or whatever I was low on in the bank, and then shortly after I went on another run. Okay, so I got kill count again, potted up, put on my prayers, and got ready to fight. I decided to use dragon darts this time because they were really accurate and I could use them. I think they had more ranged attack bonus than any bolts I could use, so they proved to be effective. The reason I'm clicking on the abilities rather than using numbers is because then I can show you what abilities I am using. So if you feel that my strategies are messed up or anything, please leave it in the comments. I reviewed over a bunch of abilities already. The abilities I chose are the ones I could use, and the ones I use most often are the ones that are best. Fragmentation shot would be good, but absences don't move considering the range, or well, they don't move while you're fighting them. Also, I noticed something. You don't actually have to be attacking a monster for it to attack you back, because the moment you click on it, whether you can hit it or not, it'll be targeted and it'll hit you back anyways. So I got unload, and I unloaded it on the boss. Uh, it did a bunch of 5Ks. It took out like a quarter of its HP by itself, so it gave me a good start. Then I started healing up with rock tails. Uh, yeah. It was the same strategy as last time, except this time with a more accurate and better weapon, in my opinion. And it was also hitting more frequently because I could actually use a regular attack instead of only my abilities. So, I just tried to run away so that even if it started meleeing me, it'd have to come close. And then I'd be able to use a fragmentation shot on it. Because when a monster moves with fragmentation shot, it deals some really nice damage. Fortunately, due to constant healing, I was unable to get to a threshold or ultimate abilities for a very long time. I have a feeling that if I could get to the threshold abilities and maintain a spot there, I'd be able to deal some constant DPS, and I'd be able to kill it faster. So if I was to go again, which I probably will in another video, I'd try to maintain a threshold position and only use my ultimate at the end, or maybe I just use my ultimate and then heal up to full and try to get to threshold again. So my Spirit Terror Bird, if you didn't know, they are aggressive, so they will automatically start attacking any monster that is around you or that you're attacking, but that also means they'll die fast. So you'll have to this is only good if you're a low level. If you're a higher level, you'd probably use a unicorn or a pack yak because they aren't aggressive. War tortoises are also aggressive, I think. So in any multi-way combat or anything, which is all Runescape now, these aren't the best familiars to use unless you know it's going to be a short fight, which in this case it was. Here, I was down to 4 rocktails. I had my ultimate, but then it got dropped. So I'll probably pull off another attempt later in another video. I have a bunch of videos coming out every single weekend during the combat beta season for you guys. Maybe 10 videos at most. I'll try to cover all the bosses and highly hunted monsters in my beta hunter series. And I guess that's all. Please subscribe or like if you like the video. Stay tuned for other videos. And thanks for watching. Have a nice day.